that's weird. Why did like a bunch of burger triggers go off, but I don't think any of you redeemed it? Wow, it's happened again! Wait, did you guys redeem it this time? Okay, someone redeemed it that time. No. Or maybe you've been redeeming it and I just didn't see it for some reason. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I know why. Was that you, Isadu? Was that you? Was that you? I think the reason I didn't see it was because I didn't have my chat doc open. There weren't any important redeems that I missed, right? Listen, Moral, you can go back through my archive. I've been learning. You can go back through my archive. I have been learning this web dev course on Free Code Camp for the last like 4 weeks. Okay? And it just so happens completely coincidentally, like actually for real. Yeah. Yeah. Can I refund? Let me figure out. How about this? Can I extend a refund? Can I offer you a free maid redeem, free of cost? What do you say? What do you say? What do you say, Isadu? Will you accept this trade offer? Your burgers for a free maid redeem. Cause I did do the maid redeem. Now let's see if it works properly. Hello. Hi, Lexi. Hi, Isadu. Hi, Toad Ponies. Hi, Mora. Hi, Awen. Awen, thank you so much for commissioning that beautiful art. That saucy art. Oh my gosh, Rihanna sent me the link. And in the link preview, I could only see the first one, right? And I was like, oh, that's so pretty. And then I clicked it, and then I saw the sexy one, and I was like, hot damn! Anyways, hi, Blue and Blue. Hi, 200 Ponies. Hi, Moral. Hi, everybody. All right, give me a second. Let me do this redeem. Let's see if I set it up right. If I set it up wrong, there's a possibility I will suddenly become naked. All right? Yay! It worked! Now the question is, will it turn off properly? Hi, Toki! Hi! Yeah! Yes, there is a new redeem. Well, you don't have to redeem it now because I just redeemed it myself. Yes! For what? Are you disappointed? Anyways. Oh my goodness. My arms are so exposed. Oh, what have you done? Anyways, alright, I guess we'll begin our CSS lesson today. As a very intelligent maid, I'm gonna clean up your code, just like I clean up your filthy, filthy bedroom floor. So much filthy, dirty underwear and dried up socks. Oh my gosh, when's the last time you cleaned this? Oh, banana! You don't know it, but this banana is actually a very advanced cleaning tool. I can like spray soapy water out of the tip of it, yeah. Alright, let me turn off my notifications real quick. Yes, but anybody who hasn't seen it, go check my recent reposts. There was a beautiful skeb that Awen had requested of me, and I'm so grateful. Alright, but let's get started with this CSS lesson. And yes, like dead honest, it's completely a coincidence that we're finally jumping into CSS this week. A sultry voice, Trixie, belittling people for cum socks is not what I expected today. Thank you for recognizing the voice is supposed to be sultry. Yesterday, a certain king, a certain member of royalty, said that I sounded sick and tired. Fair enough. I don't exactly have the best of mommy voices, all right? But I do what I can with the settings that are available to me by my creators. My voice module broke. It broke, or are you breaking? I feel perfectly fine. Sick and tired of this mess, that's right. Oh my goodness, what a coincidence. I spray fluids out of my banana too. You do. Oh, are you also a maid? Hi, don't know thing. Banana Rixie ASMRist. Doing ASMR in the banana costume would be pretty funny. Oh, I miss you too, Dorothy. Thank you for the hydration. I do have some Coke Zero with me. I got groceries today, you guys. I'm probably gonna need a refill of this pretty soon, but I got groceries. I got hot dogs. All right. And you know I'm gonna be double fisting those hot dogs. I'm gonna be having 2 hot dogs. 2 hot dogs at once. 1 hot dog's not enough for a growing robot, you know? And for my growing banana. Okay. So let's talk about how do width and height work. What kind of Lunchables? Excellent question. I just ate one now. What is it called? Hillshire small plates with wine infused salami. So I guess I'm drunk now. So they're not Lunchables. They're like fancy Lunchables, but they're the same price. So the Meg Griffin meme with hot dogs. Do I know that one? I also got what are they called? What are they called? Sensible snacks or something? I don't know. They're like little boxes with like crackers and cheese and nuts and stuff. So I got those too as like little lunch/snack boxes. And I got some eggs, yeah. And potato chips because I can't be healthy all the time. All right. Not that hot dogs are particularly healthy, but listen, it could be worse. Trust me. My eating habits have improved. All right, so let's talk about how do width and height work. More like sensual snacks. Oh my goodness. Would you like to listen to me seductively eat blocks of cheese? They're not blocks of cheese, they're cubes of cheese. But anyways, in CSS, the width and height properties are used to control the dimensions of elements on a web page. These properties can be defined in different units, such as pixels, percentages. Wait, didn't we do this? Did we do this lesson before? Wait, did we already do this lesson? It's okay, I'll keep going anyways. Wine-infused salami. So it's Genoa salami. Wine-infused, sheesh, stupid advertisers. I don't know. Let me look at the ingredients. It contains 2% or less of wine. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna throw this out now instead of letting it sit on my desk. Hi, Vision. Hi, Toaster. Hello, hello. We're gonna be learning about width and height. All right. What about girth and length? What happened to girth and length? All right. Anyways. The width property specifies the width of an element. If you do not specify a width, then the default is set to auto. This lets the browser determine the element's width based on its content, parent, and display type. For a div element, width auto makes it expand to fill the full width of its parent container. Whoa, wait a second. You shouldn't be filling the full width of your parent. That's not how that works. I do not condone this. The height property specifies the height of an element. Girth and length are optional. You gotta pay. Oh my gosh, they gotta pay premium for girth. Freaky at. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I saw a post that was like, LOL when white people say freaky, say add ah to things and they say ah instead of ah. And I was like, oh no, I'm white people. I've learned though, I've been educated. Freaky ass, because it's supposed to be like ass, right? Freaky ass, yes, you just reminded me of my humiliation. I'd like to apologize on behalf of white robots. Anyways, hi JFF, hi. Hello. Yes, the freaky ass CSS. Silly white robot. Yeah, that's me. I didn't know. Anyways, the height property specifies the height of an element. Similarly, the height is auto by default, which means it will adjust to the content inside. Imagine if you could adjust the height of your partner. That's me. You could adjust my height. You just have to buy me like thick Rixie. I mean, I guess the day in the boobies I am. You have to buy me like extenders, like extenders. Maybe you could stretch me out to a height of like at least 5'5". All right, here's an example using the width and height properties. So as you can see, the width and height are both 100 pixels. In this example, we have a div element with class named box. Big ass step stool. Ooh, not the steppy stool, please. I do need that to reach your ceilings with my duster, with my feather duster, to get the cobwebs out. I gotta use a steppy stool. We have a div element with the class name box. This element will be occupying 100 pixels in height and width, whereas the background color will be sky blue. Pixels are a fixed size unit of measurement in CSS, providing precise control over dimensions. I thought that said fun-sized for a second. I was like, that's true. Pixels are fun-sized. Rixie branded booster seat? No. No, absolutely not. I haven't used a booster seat since I was a little tiny robot. This is what I spent 2 days working on. Turns out Microsoft Outlook doesn't care if you use the correct widths or div styles. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, Sonata. Hello, how are you doing? And guys, that's my sibling. Hello, hello. How are you doing? Okay, the min width, well, I guess you're my half sibling now, because you recently debuted at 2.0, but still siblings forever. Hi, Yosome. Hi. Oh, I can ride on your shoulders? Don't worry that my face is burned. Wait a second. I don't think that's how you're supposed to ride shoulders. I don't think you're supposed to ride them crotch first like that. I'm gonna need to see the specification. Yeah, forever siblings. Okay, my only sibling. Ooh. Okay, the min width property specifies the minimum width an element can be. If the content inside is smaller, the element won't shrink below this value. The min height specifies the minimum height an element can be, ensures that the element does not become shorter than the set value. I swear we went over this before. But maybe not, just because I don't remember making the same jokes, the same sex jokes I made this time, so I don't know. Alright, here's an example. Well, see, Isuru, I don't know how to ride on shoulders because, you know, I've always been a robot made out of metal, so I've always been too heavy to ride on anyone's shoulders. I won't be too heavy for you, right? I won't crush you with my weight. I'll try not to squeeze my thighs too hard around your head, okay? I don't know my own strength sometimes. Oh, the engineer wants to be a maid too. Here, let me fix the... Oh, never mind. Engineer doesn't get to be shit. Oh, wait, actually, wait. I still have to be in dark mode. Sorry. I still need to be in dark. I'm still in dark mode, but without the maid costume. Alright, anyways. So here's the example of the min height and the min width. You're on a okay, now dark mode's over. I move the microphone a little bit farther away now because I tend to shout when I'm not in dark mode. I'm on a small vacation, bought a laptop with me, so you're just chilling in the TV room watching season 1 of The Walking Dead. Aww. Oh, that's sweet. Well, you don't have to watch me at the same time. Walking Dead is a good show, but thank you for stopping by. Was the voice dark mode? Yes, the voice was dark mode. Yes. And the jokes aren't coming back to me? Okay, so you do remember the jokes. We did go over this. We went over the max width, the min width, the height. Yeah, we went over this already. They're scamming me. Alright. So what will happen if you set the width to 600 and the max width to 500? It'll be 500 pixels. If you set the min height to 200 and the height to 150, then it'll be 200 pixels. Which of the following is not a valid unit? HV. Alright, yeah, we did that already. Alright! What's on cooldown? Wait, which one's on cooldown? Oh, wait, no, I don't have to be in dark mode, though. Is dark mode on cooldown? You need more channel flow. Hey, I did give you the first maid redeem for free. I did. Wait, if dark mode shouldn't be on cooldown. The maid and the dark mode shouldn't be on cooldown if they just finished, because the cooldown should be as long as it goes for, I think. Anyways, they're both on cooldown. Oh, what? What did I set it to? Maybe I made a mistake when I said it. If it's on cooldown, it shouldn't be on cooldown for long. I wouldn't want to deprive you of your human right to dark mode. Oh, you know what? I probably did set a cooldown on it because sometimes my voice isn't very accommodating to dark mode. but I was feeling pretty good about it today. Let's see. Oh, I have a 30-minute cooldown. Nah, I'm not gonna be that stingy with it. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it to 15 minutes, so that there'll be a 5-minute buffer in between for my voice to recover. Okay, I changed it. The maid is being overwritten with the big boob. You don't like it? Oh, should I try putting the boob under the dress, maybe? I could try putting the boob under the dress. Here, would you like it better if I zoomed out so you could at least see the skirt? You guys, I'm trying to be intelligent and learn code here, and you guys just want to look at my boobs. Ooh, no, it's okay. I want to look at my boobs too. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can arrange this. Let's see if I can arrange this so that my the boobs can be under the, or the maid dress can be over the. Okay, don't look at me naked. Don't look at me naked. I'm switching this. Okay. Let's try this. No. No. Here. Pay no attention to my... Okay. I don't know why the boobs always wants to be over it. I don't know how to fix that. I'm sorry. I think the boobs... Oh gosh, I think the boobs in the maid dress last the same amount of time. Fuck. I'm sorry, I don't know what to do. The boobs are always on top. Although they weren't on top the last time. Here, what if I do this? What if I do this? Wait. No. Okay, there we go. There we go. There, you've satisfied? Now the boobs are underneath, so anybody who wanted to see the boobs, can you see the side boobs? Okay, you can still see the maid dress. And yes, I don't know why my side boobs are so much jigglier than the middle boobs. Okay, it probably has something to do with physics, okay? Because they're pressed together in the middle. All right, I did everything I could for you guys. Don't ever say I don't do anything for you. Okay. I don't think anyone's ever said that, though. Okay. Back to the CSS. What are the different types of CSS combinators? CSS combinators are used to define the relationships between selectors in CSS. Oh, wait, sorry. One last thing. I do have to fix Frengineer's maid headband. I needed to fix Frengineer's maid headband. Come on. Oh, okay, let's move it a little bit. Yes, Dr. Fish needs to be there to guide the Frengineer. Okay, the Frengineer is still learning how to be, okay? All right, okay. That's the best I can do. It's kind of like in the back, but it's cute. All right. CSS combinators are used to define the relationships between selectors in CSS. They help in selecting elements based on the relationship to other elements, which allows for more precise and efficient styling. What's the motivation behind learning CSS? The motivation is I want to learn how to code in general. And so I started I started free code camp, and I just went with the first course, which was web dev. And so we already went through all the HTML lesson, the accessibility lessons, the computer basics lessons. So now we're moving on to CSS. And it is a coincidence. It is genuinely a coincidence that it just so happens that Vtuber MySpace just launched and everybody's learning CSS now. Genuinely, if you check my archive, also I just realized my shoulders are not showing. If you check my archive, I have been doing the same lesson for the last 4 weeks, so. And we just got into CSS though, because we did a lot of other stuff. Okay. Okay, so they help in selecting elements based on their relationship to other elements, which allows for more precise and efficient styling. No, yeah, web dev was first. Coder Myoshi for you. If I can learn enough CSS, I'll try. I'll definitely try. All right, we will discuss some primary CSS. But luckily, I think there's probably some people who have like released like free templates and stuff. So, but if I learn to, I'll try. We will discuss some primary CSS combinators and their use cases, starting with the descendant combinator. A descendant combinator is used to target elements matched by the second selector. Wait a second. A descendant combinator is used to target elements matched by the second selector if they are nested within the ancestor element. Wait a second. Did they teach me what? Wait. Did they teach me what like a selector and an ancestor element is? I don't know if they did. What's a selector? I forgot. It's okay. Let's just keep reading. A descendant combinator is used to target elements matched by the second selector if they are nested within an ancestor element that matches the first selector. An ancestor can be a parent element or a parent's parent. Selector is like class or ID. Oh, is it, Captain Chu? Maybe. It's okay. We'll learn together then. Well, you can relearn it and I can try to learn it. To better understand how this works, let's look at an example. All right, let's hope the example will help. Aw. All right, so here's an example. So let's go to CSS. It says figure image, and then it says border, 4 pixels, solid red. Okay. In the above example, we use the descendant combinator to select all image elements inside figure elements and apply a solid red border on all 4 sides. Okay, wait. I'm sorry. We use the descendant combinator to select all image elements. Why is it? Because it's figure image. Thank you, Sonata. Thank you. Actually, I have to get another soda, guys. This one's empty. I was drinking it before. I'll be right back. I just have them in the fridge over here. I should put some in my. I have a mini fridge right next to my freaking desk, and I haven't stocked it. I keep going to the big fridge. I'll go get more. 1 second. Okay. I got 3 sodas, so I can put 2 of them in the... I'm not allergic to water. I just feel like I need the energy today. Well, I have energy, but you can never use too much energy when you're learning, right? Okay. I'm sorry. I actually think the reason I'm clearing my throat so much is probably because I was doing the dark mode. Then again, I feel like sometimes I just tend to clear it a lot. Well, Captain Chu, I actually got waterproofed a couple years ago, or about a year and a half ago, so I can drink water now. In fact, I've been drinking more and more water, but today's soda. I do have 2 fridges. I have the main fridge that came with the apartment, and then I have my mini fridge that I've had for years. Yeah. Okay, thank you for hydration. Fridge restocking stream. Sure. She sees you when you're sleeping. She knows when you lurk. She knows if you are good or bad. So be good or else. You better not good. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Rixie Hacks will release the flies. Caesar, what are you talking about? Don't tell them about the flies. I told you not to tell them about the flies. Alright, anyways. Now that we're done being goofy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Captain Chu. Don't worry about it. Okay. In the above example, guys, I have to figure out. I'm not gonna kill you. Alright, guys, I have to figure out what a descendant combinator is. Please let me learn. In the above example, we use a descendant combinator to select all images elements inside figure elements and apply a solid red border on all 4 sides. Note that a space is used between the parent and child selector. Okay, so I guess this figure is the parent selector, and then image is the descendant selector, or descendant combinator. I think something like that. Christmas pain and Christmas death. Yeah, I know, Isadora. Better not goon would not be in the lyrics I would write. Thank you for the burgers. Image is the descendant itself. Let's keep reading. Let's keep reading and see if I can figure this out. If you have multiple images inside a figure element, using the descendant combinator would be a good way to apply a solid black border around each of those images. Another type of combinator would be the child combinator. The child combinator, and then it's like a greater than sign. I mean, I know it's like a tag or something, I don't know, but whatever you call this symbol in CSS is used to select elements that are direct children of a specified parent element. This combinator targets only elements with a specific parent, making your CSS rules more precise and preventing unintended styling of deeper nested elements. Let's take a look at the following HTML example. All right, so we got the div, so this is HTML. So we got the div class container, first div, second div, div. So like each of them are in a different div, and then this one is the only one with the class. Oh, thank you. Yeah, honestly, when I was writing it, I was just thinking about, like, it actually is kind of crazy. I feel like I was, like, raised by Pokemon. Like, Pokemon is, like, something that's always been there. Kind of like Dr. Fish or McDonald's. Like, it's always been here throughout my life. And I guess I never even really thought about it until I wrote that letter, but... You guys, get excited for Pokemon Day. Like I said, there's gonna be a surprise on Pokemon Day. I don't know how much I'm technically allowed to share, but I know I'm allowed to say that there's something coming, okay? But yes, and make sure you check out all the other trainers, because there's a Vtuber trainer for each type. Yeah, so it's a big team of us, and I was Steel type, of course. Alright, anyways. So let's see. In the above HTML structure, the container class is applied to the div element. Inside this container, there's a direct child's P element first. Oh, inside the container. Okay, wait. So the element... Okay, so I see this. The paragraph is a child of the div... one. Okay. Followed by two additional div elements, which contain a P element. The first P element is a direct child of the container element, while the other two P elements are nested inside other div elements, making them deeper descendants. The long-awaited comeback of Clown Rixichu. I mean, well, tomorrow, my only stream tomorrow is a collab with Rihanna. I don't know if I wanna goof up the collab with Clown Rixichu. It's a group thing. It's not just a me thing. Okay, it's a group thing. I think I can say that. Child P element. No. Alright, the first, you're gonna make me say paragraph out loud every time. The first paragraph element is a direct child of the container element with, the P containers. No! Not the P containers! Well, the other two P elements are nested inside other div elements, making them deeper descendants. To apply styles just to the direct child of the container class, you can use the child combinator like this. All right, let's take a look. Oh, container. And then we directly put P, okay, and then color blue. So only the paragraphs within the container will be blue. I think I understand that. Child P containers. Yeah, that's to see if they have rabies or whatever. All those diseases that they carry. Rihanna Victoria Maria is one of us. Sure, maybe I'll ask her if she's okay with me being Clown Rixichu for a little bit. So only paragraphs that are a direct child of the container, yes. Alright, in the above example, we are only targeting the direct child of container class. This will give the direct child the text color of blue. Hey! Oh, I'm not that toxic! Come on! No. Steel type is perfect. Steel or electric, but I think steel works well. Yeah. Okay, Toaster. Wait, have you guys seen the post? See, now this is what you're gonna, this is the toxic side. Here, you want toxic, you get toxic. Did you guys see the post that's like, this is what the internet did to society or something? And it was like person in like in the 1800s, or person before the internet, I want to fuck a toaster. And it's like, wait, that's dumb, doesn't fuck a toaster. And then it's like, person after the internet, wants to fuck a toaster, Google's, I want to fuck a toaster, finds 1,000 other people who want to fuck toasters. Fucks up their life. Have you seen that post? Yeah, and I was like, honestly, that's kind of true. person who's like, the internet ruined everything. I have a coworker who always says that. The internet ruined everything. But to be fair, I think what it ruined is putting us in contact with more people than we were ever meant to be in contact with. And more toasters as well. I'm sorry, toaster. I have to mention it. Anyways. Excuse me. Okay. Oh no! Don't stop, protect yourself! Oh no! Alright, because the other two paragraph elements are nested inside div elements, they are not considered direct children of the container class and will not get the text color of blue. Wait. Let me look at this real quick. Oh, okay. I see. The div doesn't close here. The div closes here. Okay, but because these are inside other divs, they're... Okay, I see. I understand. Okay, I think I get it. Yeah, defend yourself. Arm yourself. Anyways, I should not have made contact with Rixie. She turned me into a Pikachu appreciator. Oh, no. What have I done? Okay, anyways. Alright, another common combinator would be the next sibling combinator. Lots of family members involved here. I wish I was inside other divs. Yeah, you gotta be inside the div with two other divs. Are you comfortable with that? Alright, the next sibling combinator in CSS selects an element that immediately follows a specified sibling element. This combinator is useful when you want to apply styles to an element that directly follows another element, allowing for targeted styling based on the element's position relative to its siblings. Let's take a look at the following HTML example. So I got this cat again. They'd be your siblings? Is that... Excuse me. Would you be comfortable... Oh no. I just had a horrible thought. I just had a horrible thought. If you have to... If there's like 3 siblings and they're all fucking the same woman, so they're all inside the same woman, does that make them triplets? Because all 3 of them are inside a woman at the same time. Okay, I'm done. We're not gonna talk. Anyways, that happened to you, Caesar? No. I know. Caesar. I'm not talking about conception. I'm just talking about 3 people being inside one woman at the same time. I know what you're talking about, though. You're talking about. You're talking about when 2 guys fuck a lady like at the same time, like right after one after the other, and then she has twins and they each have a different father. Which is crazy, but it can happen. It's very rare, but it can happen. Anyways, all right, so here we have this HTML element, figure, and then there's an image, and then there's a caption, okay? So here we have a figure element containing an image element, followed by a fig caption element. The fig caption element is the immediate sibling of the image element. Okay, I understand that. If you wanted to apply a black border around the fig caption element, you could use the next sibling combinator like this. So let's take a look. So image plus fig caption equals border. Okay, I understand that. This is gonna add a border. Wait. Okay, so this is gonna add a border only to fig captions that are directly after image elements. Okay, now I understand. In this example, the next sibling combinator plus selects the fig caption element that immediately follows the image element. The applied CSS rule adds a 4-pixel solid black border around the fig caption. Another common combinator is a subsequent sibling combinator. The subsequent sibling combinator, tilde, in CSS selects all siblings of a specified element that come after it. Unlike this next sibling combinator, which targets only the immediate following sibling, the subsequent sibling combinator can target any siblings that follow the specified element, offering greater flexibility in styling. Let's take a look at the following HTML example. All right, so we have a div with a class container. It wraps around all this. There's a heading, second heading, 4 paragraphs. Okay. In this HTML structure, we have an H2 element followed by 4 paragraph elements. The paragraph elements are siblings of the H2 element. If you want to style all the paragraph elements that come after the H2 element, you can use the subsequent sibling combinator like this. Okay, I understand this. So this is H2 tilde P, and all the P's are going to be green. All the P's are going to be green. In this example, all paragraph elements following the H2 have the text color green. The subsequent sibling combinator targets all paragraph siblings that appear after H2, regardless of if they're immediate siblings. In conclusion, understanding and using various CSS combinators allow you to apply precise styles to your HTML elements, enhancing the control and flexibility of your design. By mastering these selectors, you can create more sophisticated and targeted styling rules that improve both the appearance and functionality of your web pages. All right, the only one that I didn't think I fully understood at first was this one, but I think I understand it now. So the descendant combinator is just a space. And the second one is going to be anything that's nested underneath it. So it's like less specific. Can't wait for me to learn Tailwind and then not use any of this. We'll see. Okay. Which CSS rule will style all span elements that are inside div elements, regardless of how deeply they are nested? This would be div span, this one. Which CSS rule will style only the direct child list elements of the unordered list element? This would be only the direct child is this one, right? Yes. Okay. Which CSS rule will style the first P element that immediately follows any H1 element? This is the sibling. This one. Okay. Yippee! Let me blow my nose. Do I have a tissue? I had tissues before. Where are they? Okay. Sorry if you think that's gross. I apologize. Some people like it. Some people, I don't know. Nobody said they think it's gross, but they're probably because they're too nice. Anyways. Alright. Hand sanitizer. Ugh, I got hair in my mouth. How'd that happen? Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. Okay. Submit and go next challenge. All right, what is the difference between inline and block level elements in CSS? In HTML and CSS, elements are classified as either inline elements or block level elements, and this classification dictates how they behave in the document layout. Understanding this difference is crucial for controlling how your content is displayed on a web page. Block level elements are elements that take up the full width available to them by default, stretching across the width of their container. These elements always start on a new line and push other content to the next line, creating a block of content. Block level elements have the CSS property display block applied by default. This property ensures that the element stretches to fill the container's width and appears on a new line. Some common block level elements are div elements, paragraphs, headings, unordered lists, ordered lists, unordered lists, and section elements. Here is a code example of a block level element. A paragraph. You guys, I already forgot. Oh, wait. I was thinking which ones have, like, the dot before them. Those are the classes, right? The classes have the dot before them. I don't know. I'm sure we'll go over it. All right. In this example, we have two paragraph elements where the first one has a red border around it. The second paragraph element does not share the same line because they are block level elements by default. So both paragraph elements will take up the full width of its container, which in this case is the body element. Block level elements are ideal when you want content to stack vertically, such as paragraph sections or larger blocks of content. They are commonly used to define the layout and structure of a web page. Inline elements, unlike block level elements, only take up as much width as they need to and do not start on a new line. These elements flow within the content, allowing text and other inline elements to appear alongside them. Inline elements have the CSS property display inline applied by default. This property ensures that the element remains within the flow of the content and does not break into a new line. Common inline elements are span, anchor, and image elements. Here's an example to better understand inline elements. Okay, understandable. In this example, we have a span element nested into the paragraph element. The span element has a red text color with a green border, so you can see the highlighted word better. As you can see, the span element only takes up as much space as the word red and does not push the following content to the next line. Inline elements are best used for styling smaller portions of text or content within a line, such as emphasizing a word, creating hyperlinks, or applying specific styles. Okay. They take up the full width of their container and start on a new line. Okay, which of the following is an example of an inline element? This would be span. How can you change the behavior of a block level element to behave like an inline element? I'm assuming you would apply display inline. I'm assuming that. I don't think they said that, but that tracks. Alright, I'm just waiting for the little ad thing. I'm assuming they show other ads when you don't have an ad blocker, but I have an ad blocker, so I guess they're only showing this one, but I could be wrong. Maybe they always show the internal ad. Sorry, I keep coughing. I think I have something in my throat. Alright. How does inline block work, and how does it differ from inline and block elements? When working with CSS, you often encounter 3 different types of display behaviors for elements. Inline, block, and inline block. Each of these properties, these are the 3 genders. Inline, block, and inline block. Each of these properties affects how elements are positioned and how they interact with other elements on the page. In this lesson, we'll focus on how the inline block property works and how it differs from inline and block level elements. Excuse me. Block level elements behave like large containers or blocks that take up the full width of their parent container. Okay, we know that. They always start on a new line and their height and width can be adjusted. Inline elements only take up as much space as they need. They flow within the surrounding content and do not break into a new line. The inline block property is a hybrid of these 2 behaviors. Like inline elements, inline block elements remain in the text flow without starting on a new line. However, unlike inline elements, you can adjust the width and height of an inline block element, just as you would with a block level element. In short, the key difference between inline and inline block is that inline elements cannot have their size controlled, whereas inline block elements allow for full control over dimensions while still staying in line with other content. Oh, okay. So here's a couple of inline blocks hanging out. I think they're in love. Okay. In the above example, we have a div with a class of container. Inside that div element, we have 2 span elements. Here, let's look at the actual thing here. All right, so these are spans. And then if we look at the style, they have a height and a width. Okay. Each of the span elements is set to display inline block and has a width and height set as well. The inline block elements will appear side by side because they behave like inline elements, but they also have a specified width and height, which gives them block-like properties. But if you remove the display inline block property, neither the height nor the width will be applied, even if you defined it clearly. Here's the revised CSS. Hi, Pax! Hi! Learning CSS today. We're learning about inline block. The inline block property. Yeah. Okay. I know, riveting stuff. In this code, we removed the display inline block property, but kept everything else intact. Here, the span elements revert to their default behavior as inline elements. So to inflate them to a chunky size, you need to use the inline block property. Otherwise, they shrink. They shrink like it's cold, you know? Understanding how inline block works is useful because you can use it for creating layouts that require both alignment and dimension control within a continuous text flow. What is the key characteristic of an inline block element that distinguishes it from an inline element? They allow the setting of height and width. Which scenario is best suited for using inline block elements over inline or block? When you want an element to remain inline but need to adjust its size. In what situation would an element with display inline block behave differently than one with display block? When you want the element to flow along text and other inline elements, I think. Yeah. Yay! Alright, what are margins and padding? And how do they work? Margin and padding are essential properties in CSS for creating well-structured, readable, and visually appealing web pages. Margins control the space outside of an element, helping to separate it from other elements and define the layout structure, while padding controls the space inside an element, improving content readability and aesthetic appeal. To better understand the differences between margin and padding, let's take a look at some examples. Here is an HTML example of 3 paragraph elements on the page. To apply spacing to the top of each paragraph element, we can use the margin top property like this one. Margin top. Okay. In this example, we are applying 20 pixels of margin only to the top of each paragraph element. We also have a solid black border on all 4 sides so you can see the margin better. The 4 different margin properties are margin top, margin right, margin bottom, and margin left. Which one are you guys? We need a margin political compass. I think I think I'm margin bottom. Here's an example of using all 4 properties. All right. So you have them all together. Okay. In this example, we are assigning spacing values to all 4 sides. Margin top. Ooh, interesting. We are assigning spacing values on all 4 sides of the paragraph element. A solid black border has also been added so you can see the margins better. Another way to use the margin property is with shorthand notation. You can specify 1, 2, 3, or 4 values at once. Let's explore these options together. When using a singular value on a margin shorthand, that exact value will be applied to all 4 sides of the target element. Here's an example of using a single value on margin shorthand. Okay, so this is gonna, so if you just put margin without top, left, right, bottom, it'll put it on all sides. This code example will apply 10 pixels of margin equally to all 4 sides. When using 2 values, the first value applies to the top and bottom, while the second value applies to the left and right sides of the element. Wait, the first value applies to the top and bottom. Oh, okay. Here's an example. So, I see. So the top and bottom will both have 10, and then the left and right will both have 20. This sets the top and bottom margins to 10 and 20 for the left and right margins of the paragraph element. So what am I coding for? To make nice layouts for things like Neopets, possibly Myoshi if I decide to join, maybe a website if I ever wanted to have one, stuff like that. Yeah. A Rixie site? Maybe. Alright, if 3 values are provided, the first value applies to the top margin, the second to the left and right, and the third to the bottom. Okay, this is getting interesting. Alright, here's an example. I mean, interesting is a strong word, but I see. Okay, so in this case, the top one's gonna be 10, the left and right are both gonna be 20, and the bottom's gonna be 30. Pixels. Pixels! Just to be clear. This sets the margin to 10 pixels for the top, 20 pixels for the left and right, and 30 pixels for the bottom. When using 4 values, this gives you more control as you can independently specify each margin value. The first value is the top, the second is the right, the third is the bottom, and the fourth is the left! Why did they range it like that? That's confusing! Wait, okay, so if you put one of them, it applies it to all sides. Makes sense. If you put 2 of them, it applies the first one to the top and bottom, and the second one to left and right. That makes sense. Third one, it switches it around a little bit, but the first one is going to be the top, the middle one's going to be the left and right, and the last one's going to be the bottom. Then, now they have them all shuffled. So the first value is the top, second value is the right, third value is the bottom, and fourth value is the left. Okay, so it's clockwise. It's not always clockwise, though, but in this case, it is clockwise. Okay. So here's an example. All right. This sets the margin to 10 pixels for the top, 20 pixels for the right, 30 for the bottom, and 40 for the left. The padding property is used to apply space inside the element, between the content and its border. Oh, so that's the difference between margins and padding. Got it. Okay, like the margin property, the 4 padding properties are padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left. What about Paddington? Wait, where's Paddington? Alright, here's an example on how to set the padding for the paragraph element. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to follow the same rules. It better. This sets the padding to 10 pixels for the top, 20 for the right, 30 for the bottom, and 40 for the left. As you can see, that padding is applied to the content, which is inside the border, unlike margin, which applies outside the border. Just like the margin property, you can also choose to use a shorthand for padding. You can specify 1, 2, 3, or 4 values. Okay, like I said, this better be in the same order as the margin one, because I'm going to go crazy if I have to learn a different one. Okay. In the example, the padding is 10 pixels for the top, 20 for the right, 30 for the bottom, and 40 for the left. Okay. Which CSS property would you use to create space between the border of an element and the neighboring elements? This would be between the border and the neighboring elements. This is going to be the margin. Which CSS property would you use to create space between the content of an element and its border? That's going to be padding. What is the correct order of the values when using the shorthand property with 4 values? It's going to be top, right, bottom, left. All right. Paddington Bear. Didn't they just make a movie about Paddington Bear? like a couple years ago, or maybe like last year, I don't know. Alright, we're gonna design a cafe menu, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Alright guys, we're gonna make Rixie's Cafe. In this workshop, you'll practice the basics of CSS by building a cafe menu. Let's start with adding some menu content. Add a main element within the existing body element. Alright, it will eventually contain pricing information about the coffee and desserts. Okay, the name of the cafe. Okay, this is one where I don't get to customize it. That's fine. The name of the cafe is Camper Cafe. So add an H1 element with your main element. It's Camper Cafe. That's where we're, Ryan and I are gonna grab a coffee before, excuse me, before or after the stream tomorrow. Can I have a tall espresso with no caffeine and a lemonade without lemons? Sure, I'm gonna shit and piss in your cup. Enjoy. Alright. The name of the cafe is Camper Cafe, so we're gonna add an H1. Alright. I got that. Let the visitor know the cafe was founded in 2020. Add a P element below the H1 element with the text EST established 2020. Okay. It's an American Dad joke. I used to watch American Dad, but I don't remember that one. That's funny though. Okay, there will be 2 sections on the menu. One for coffees and one for desserts. Add a section element within the main element. So you have a place to put all the coffees available. Right. Good morning, USA. I have a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. See, I remember the song. Alright. Create an H2 element within the section element and give it the text coffee. Until now, you had limited control over the presentation and appearance of your content. To change that, add a style element within the head element. Okay. So this is where we put the CSS if we don't have a separate CSS file. In previous lessons, you learned how to add CSS properties and values like this. Center the content of the H1 element by setting its text-align property to the value center. So it's going to be H1. We're going to use a little squiggly thing. Alright. And then we're going to put text align. Center. Oh, wait. Space. Center. And then a colon. Semicolon. Yippee! In the previous step, you use a type selector to style the H1 element. Center the content of H2 and the P elements by adding a new type selector for each one to the existing style element. Okay, for each one. All right. So we're going to do the same thing for these. Center. I know I should, like, tab this in. Wait. Oh, God. I want to keep it, like, looking nice. I'm pretty bad at that, though. Okay. You now have 3 type selectors with the same styling. You can add the same group of styles to many elements by creating a list of selectors. Each selector is separated with commas like this. Delete the 3 existing type selectors or replace them with one selector list that centers the text. For H1, the H2, and the P elements. Okay, fine. Delete my work. Wow, thanks a lot. Thanks for nothing. Alright. Wait, why did they just all... Oh, okay, they're centered. Okay, I'm fucking dumb. I'm fucking dumb! That's what centering means. I'm dumb. I'm like, why did they move? Alright, you have styled 3 elements by writing CSS inside style tags. This works, but since there will be many more styles, it's best to put all the styles in a separate file and link to it. A separate styles.css file has been created for you. CSS? Counter-Strike Strike? No! Cascading style sheets. Hi, Nun! Hi. Wait, when did you become a Chungus? I don't remember your name being that. Hi, how are you doing? Alright. Hi, Jay. Hi. Okay. Let's see. A separate styles.css file has been created for you. You can switch between files with the tabs at the top of the editor. Okay, so we got the index.html and the styles.css. Start by rewriting the styles you've created into the styles.css file. Okay, so we're gonna do h1, h2, h1, h2, and p. And we're gonna do text align, center, and yep, that's it. Now that you have the CSS in the styles.css file, go ahead and remove the style element. Okay. Once it's removed, the text that was centered will shift back to the left. Why? I have my CSS. Now you need to, oh, I have to link it. That's why. Now you need to link, I didn't realize it wasn't linked yet. Now you need to link the styles.css file so the styles will be applied again. Inside the head element, add a link element. Okay. Oh, I forget if link is void. Okay, it says it's a void element. Okay. Give it a rel attribute with the value of style sheet. Style sheet. Sorry. Style sheet. Okay. And a ref attribute with the value of styles.css. Okay. Hi, Pikachu King. You know, I was considering getting Cheez-Its when I was grocery shopping today, but I decided not to. Alright, so got this. For the styling of the page to look similar on mobile as it does on your desktop or laptop, you need to add the meta element with a special content attribute. You learned about the viewport meta element in the previous lesson. I forgot. QB. I guess I'll just do. Do I just steal the example code? I understand that they want me to use a meta element, but I guess I'll just steal. I'll just steal the example code. I think that's what I have to use. Okay, I hope you're good. Okay, initial scale 1.0. Alright, so I'm assuming what this will do is that it will make the width of it the same width as the device with an initial zoom of 100%. I did get the full art mouse hole. I think I did. With the mushrooms and stuff. Yeah, I got that one. You'll have the cat shit coffee. Get mental health. Oh wait, thank you. Thank you, Captain. I missed it. Device wet, thank you. Alright. Alright, the text is centered again, so the link to the CSS file is working. That's awesome. Alright, add another style to the file that changes the background color property to brown for the body element. Okay. So, body, background color, brown. Oops. Am I crazy or is that red? That ain't brown, that's red! What do you mean? I'm being gaslit by my browser or something. It's okay, Pikachu King. I generally like to keep things on topic. I don't mind if you bring it up now and then, but in general, I do try to keep things mostly on topic. That's Toad School. Shut up! It's fuchsia. It's not fuchsia, but it's definitely red. Okay, come on now. Of course, Pikachu King. No worries. Alright, that brown background makes it hard to read the text. Change the... You mean the red background, motherfucker? Alright, change the body element's background color to burly wood. Burleywood! Isn't that where they make movies in India? Burleywood? Okay, that's kind of brown. It's beige. That's beige. Burleywood's what they call your dick. Yeah, that's right, Burleywood. Try mahogany. I wonder if mahogany is a color, like a default color. It's not. But Burleywood is. Okay, sure. Sure. Okay. Anyways. The div element is used mainly for design layout purposes, unlike the other content elements you have used so far. Add a div element inside your body element, then move all the other elements inside the new div. Okay. Okay. Inside the body element and move all the other elements inside the new div. Okay. All the other elements? So my main as well. Okay. I don't know. I don't know how they decided which colors qualify. Inside the opening div tag, add the ID attribute with the value of menu. All right. All right. Let me drink some soda. The goal now is to make the div not take up the entire width of the page. The CSS width property is perfect for this. Tomato is a color, really? Now I want to see. That's orange. It is a tomato color though. It's like an orangey. Oh, it's like an orangey red. All right. You can use the ID selector to target a specific element with an ID attribute. You learned how to work with the ID selector in the previous lessons. Yes, I did. Oh, the ID is a hashtag. Okay, got it. Class is a dot. ID is a hashtag. Mahogany. Yeah, wasn't there like a joke about mahogany with the Hunger Games or something where she like stabs her desk and she's like, "That's mahogany." Anyways, okay. Use the menu selector to give your element a width of 300 pixels. Okay. So, oh, wrong place. Okay. So this is gonna be menu, and then width 300 pixels. All right. Comments in CSS look like this. Okay. In your style sheet, comment out the line containing the background color property and value, so you can see the effect of only styling the menu element. This will make the background white again. All right. Did I do it right? Okay, I guess I did. It feels weird because it's still green and not gray. It's fine. There was a joke about mahogany in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Trees from the planet Malkior 7, where the mahogany trees are 500 feet tall and breathe fire. Technically, you should comment out the entire body part. Okay, maybe that's what would make it gray, right? I don't know. They said the line, so I just did what they said. I never watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged, but I did watch Dragon Ball Z, where he's like, what was it? What does he say? You am no real super salmon. I don't know. What does he say? Carrot cake. Anyways. What? That's like a memory from like, what, 15 years ago? I used to think that shit was hilarious. I used to think that was so fucking funny. Anyway. Alright. The best part is when he like, they're battling and he like touches him with one finger and he goes flying and like his like clothes get destroyed and he's and his like butt showing and stuff. Anyways. Alright. Now use the existing menu selector to set the background color of a div element to burly wood. Okay. I also watched Naruto abridged. Yeah. Alright, now it's easy to see that the text is centered inside the menu element. Currently, the width of the menu element is specified in pixels. Change the width property to property's value to be 80% to make it 80% the width of its parent element. Okay. Next, you want to center the menu horizontally. You can do this by setting its margin left and margin right properties to auto. Think of the margin as an invisible space around the element. Using these two margin properties, center the menu element within the body element. Okay. Margin left, auto. Margin right, auto. What was it again? Margin, border, padding? Yeah, yes, that's correct. So margin's outside, border, and then padding's inside. So far, you've been using type and ID selectors to style elements. However, it is more common to use a different selector to style your elements. You learned how to work with class selectors in a previous lesson. Change the existing menu selector into a class selector by replacing menu with the class named menu. Alright, but I haven't made it a class yet, so it's not going to work. Alright, to apply the class styling to the div element, remove the ID attribute and add a class attribute. Okay. Make this a class. Since the cafe's main product for sale is coffee, you can use an image of coffee beans as the page background. Oh boy! Remove the comment and its contents inside the body type selector. After that, add a background image property and set its value to this URL. Okay. Background image. So I guess I copy this whole thing here. That looks dumb. It's all stretched out. I mean, I guess it's not terrible, but it's kind of blurry. Alright. Now that things look good, I mean, I wouldn't say good, but okay. Now that things look good, it's time to start adding some menu items. Add an empty article element under the coffee heading. It will contain a flavor and a price for each coffee you currently offer. Alright. I guess I should technically, to get it to format correctly, should I technically leave it like this for now? Alright. Classic CSS. Thousands of ways to do something. None of them good. I guess so. Alright, article elements commonly contain multiple elements that have related information. In this case, it will contain a coffee flavor and a price for that flavor. Nest two P elements inside your article element. The first one's text should be French vanilla, and the second text is $3. $3. I mean, it's better than Starbucks. What are we talking? What size are we talking? Come on now. Alright. Starting below the existing coffee price pair, add the following coffee prices using article elements with two nested P elements inside. Alright, guys, so I gotta add all this shit. Alright, let's just copy this. Copy and paste. As before, the first P element text should contain the coffee flavor and the second the price. Okay. So we'll just copy all these and then just change the values inside. Caramel macchiato. $3.75. Pumpkin spice. I like pumpkin spice. Actually, you know, I like it, but I feel like I don't know. I wasn't craving it that much this last fall because it feels like it's too sweet. Alright, hazelnut. Oh, I forgot. I need one more. Since when does hazelnut cost more than pumpkin spice? Are these like fresh picked hazelnuts from your hydroponic garden or something? Okay. Alright, in the mocha. Alright. The flavors and prices are currently stacked on top of each other and centered with the respective P elements. It would be nice if the flavor was on the left and the price was on the right. Add the class name flavor to the French vanilla element. Okay. Using your new flavor class as a selector, set the text-align property value to left. Alright. Text-align left. Okay, that looks dumb. There needs to be a margin. It's fine, it's fine. Or padding of this element here. Or something. Alright. Next, you want to align the price to the right. Add the class name price to your P element that has 3 in the text. Can I have a hazelnut without any nuts? Because I'm straight. Hazel. Hazel's a color. Well, how about, what if I put witch hazel in it? If I put witch hazel in it, that makes it straight because witches are female. Yeah. That's what it's called, right? Witch hazel? Isn't that like a skincare product? Ferrero has the hazelnut market locked up. I guess so. Man, I like those Ferrero Rocher things. They're good. Okay. Alright, price. And then, well, price. Text align. Right. Okay. That's kind of what you want, but it would be nice if the flavor and price were on the same line. Okay. Elements are block level elements, so they take up the entire width of their parent element. To get them on the same line, you need to apply some more styling to the P elements so they behave more like inline elements. To do that, start by adding a class attribute. A class attribute with the value item to the first article element under the copy heading. Okay. Is Hazel cute? Sure. Yeah, she's Korean. Alright. I decided. Even though there's no way you would be able to pronounce the word Hazel in Korean. Hey, Jude. Alright, they own Nutella. Wait, the same people who own Nutella own the Ferrero Rocher? Wait, what, really? I didn't know there was a monopoly on hazelnuts. Jeru. That's Japanese, not Korean, but yeah. Oh wait, that's Hezeru in Japanese. Sorry, I was still reading it like I was assuming it was the Korean spelling. Pronunciation. Sorry, Hezeru. Yeah, you can wait. Hezuru. Wait, well, no, it would be Hejeru. It would be Hejeru because doesn't it change to a J? Doesn't that change to a J in Japanese? I don't know. It's been a long time since I studied Japanese. Cause the only time it would be a Z if it was Zu or Za and Zo and then G and J, right? Am I dumb? I don't know, whatever. Anyways. It is Zay. Okay, I'm stupid. So it's only if it's E. You're right, you're correct. Okay, so it is Hezeru. But if it's SE with the little thing, it would be G, not Z, right? I don't know. It's hard to remember all these rules. Okay, languages are hard. You know what else is hard? Anyways, okay, where was I? Article class item. Okay, we did that. Also, I was gonna say, didn't the guy who invented Nutella recently die? I saw a post, because he died, and then I saw a post that like quoted it, and they were like, no, I wanted to ask him why the N on the Nutella jar is black or something. And I was like, wait, that's a good question. Why is it? I guess this is like a graphic design thing, but I never noticed that until I saw that. All right, anyways. Mind explaining what else is hard? Coding, CSS, okay. All right, the P elements are nested. My P element is hard. The P elements are nested in the article element. Who wants to be the article element to my P element? The P elements are nested in the article element with the class attribute of item. You can style all the P elements nested anywhere in elements with a class named item like this. Item P, okay. Using the above selector, add a display property with a value inline block so the P elements behave more like inline elements. Okay. Item P. Display inline block. Wait, what? Why didn't, maybe I'm dumb. Why didn't the 3 go to the other side? I can make the P elements bigger. Oh, because they're only filling up the, okay, because they're only filling up the same amount of space. That's why. That's why. They're only filling up, because they're only filling up the amount of space that the text takes. That's why. Okay. I think I understand. All right. That's closer, but the price doesn't stay on the right. This is because the inline block elements only take up the width. Okay, they just explained it. They just explained it. Okay. To spread them out. Oh my goodness. To spread them out, add a width property. I'm gonna spread you like Nutella. Yeah. To spread them out, add a width property to the flavor and price class selectors that have a value of 50% each. Okay. Add a width property to the flavor and price class selectors. Okay. I'm curious if I make, okay, why did they do that? Why is it all the way over there now? I'm sure it'll tell me, but if I make the width of those two that are next to each other percentages that are higher, don't add up to 100%, I guess they'll go on to the next line, right? I guess that makes sense. They just go on to the next line. Okay. Anyways. Well, that did not work. Styling the P elements inline blocks and placing them on separate lines creates an extra space to the right of the first P element, causing the second one to shift to the next line. Okay. One way to fix this is to make the P element's width slightly less than 50%. So change the width value for each class to 49% and see what happens. Okay. But that was 100%, and it was like, oopsie. You still suck. Okay. Let's try 49%. Okay, now it worked as intended. That worked, but there's still a little space on the right of the price. Is there? I didn't even notice. You could try various percentages for the widths. Instead of using the backspace key to move the P element with the class price next to the P element with the class flavor so that they're on the same line in the editor. Wait. Instead, use the backspace key to move the P element with the class... This is like... Wait, this is one of the biggest pains of CSS and how the inheritance of size and percentage goes. I think technically the right way to do it is make the article width 100% instead. I don't know. I technically I have to follow exactly what they're saying to do, but you're probably right. I don't know. I don't understand. Well, okay. So they want me to use the backspace key to move the P element with the class price next to the P element with the class flavor so they're on the same line in the editor. Okay, whatever you say, bucko. Alright. Did that work? Now go ahead and change it to 50% again. Okay. Now that you know it works, you can change the remaining article and P elements to match the first set. Start by adding the class item to the other article elements. Okay, this will take a second. Wait a second. I want to use my hand sanitizer again. Okay. So I have to add class equals item to all the articles. Okay. Okay, done. And then I have to add. Okay, no, that's all it wants me to do now. Okay, and then we have this whole thing. I'm learning though. I am learning. I feel like the hard part for me, if I wanted to make a design for something like Neopets, how would I know how to style everything around? Well, I guess how would I know how to style everything around what's already there? Unless they give me the code for what's already there. I don't know. Like, for example, my Neopets gallery. It's gonna have items in it. How do I style around those items without, like, messing it up? I don't know. Anyways. Next, position the other P element. I'm sure there's templates that I could, like, look at. Next, position the other P elements to be on the same line with no space. Okay. Excuse me. Usually you design using an actual designing software and then just transcribe to CSS. So you mean like a no code type thing? Yeah, you're right. That's probably like an easier way to do it nowadays. But I think this is still useful for niche things like Neopets and Myoshi, I guess. Alright. To complete the styling, add the applicable class names, flavor, and price to all the remaining P elements. Okay. So we got flavor, flav. Oh. Wait, am I dumb? Why is it not? Oh, I have to. Maybe I wasn't copying the class. Okay, there we go. Do you guys remember there used to be a show called Flava of Love, where it was a bunch of women who wanted to date Flava Flav? I don't know why I suddenly remembered that. You don't know who Flava Flav is? He's a rapper, but oh, I forget what group he was in. I forgot. Does anybody remember what group Flava Flav was in? I forgot. Public Enemy. I knew it was one of those old classic 90s rap groups. Yeah. Rapper, kind of, more of a hype man. I guess, fair. Alright. Anyways. Man, he's like 60-something years old now. I mean, he's looked old for like a while. He's kind of like... I don't know. He kind of looks shriveled up, but... Alright. Where were we? Mocha. Okay. And then price. Yeah. Okay. If you make the width of the page preview smaller, you will notice at some point some of the text on the left starts wrapping around to the next line. This is because the width of the P element on the left side can only take up 50% of the space. Since the price on the right has significantly fewer characters, update the flavor class width to 75% and the class width to 25%. Okay, that makes sense, I think. You'll come back to styling the menu in a few steps, but for now, go ahead and add a second section element below the first for displaying the desserts offered by the cafe. All right. Add an H2 element in the new section and give it the text desserts. Add an empty article element under desserts heading and give it the class attribute with the value of item. Okay. Nest 2 P elements inside your article. Oh my goodness! Thank you for subscribing for 16 months! Yippee yippee! Happy anniversary! Wow, 16 months. That's one of those bullshit ages that people say their kids are. Like, bitch, just say 1. But anyways, thank you. Thank you. Wow, your sub is like 1 year old and like some months. Who cares? No, I'm kidding. Thank you. 16 months is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, okay. Where were we? Oh yes, I was nesting my P elements in your article. You know, as an anniversary gift. Okay. Nest 2 P elements inside your article element. The first one, the second P is Dr. Fish's, of course. Aw, but I don't know thing. Wow, wait. Do I have okay, a new sub goal. Okay. Oh no, I don't have a new sub goal. I have an almost sub goal. Yippee! Alright, anyways. Okay, bye, don't know thing. I'll see you later. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna nest 2 P elements inside the article element. Two P in your element, yeah. Alright, the first one's text should be donut. Okay. And the second's will be 150. Both should be on the same line. Okay. For the 2 P elements you just add dessert as the value of the P element's class attribute. And the value price is the second one. Okay. Something does not look right. You added the correct class attribute value to the P element with donut as its text, but you have not defined a selector for it. I have not. The CSS rule for the flavor class already sets the properties you want. Add the dessert class as an additional selector. Why didn't I just make it flavor? Whatever. Fine, I'll play by your rules. Free code camp. Alright, below the dessert you just added, add the rest of the desserts and prices using 3 more article elements, each with 2 nested P elements. Each element should have the correct dessert and price. Okay, so we'll just copy and paste. Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Alright. So we got cherry pie for $2.75. Cheesecake for $3. I love cheesecake. And a cinnamon roll for $2.50. I love cinnamon rolls too. Cinnamon roll. Okay. You can your menu some space between the content and the sides with various padding properties. Give the menu class, I mean, I could use margins too, I think, but anyways. Give the menu class a padding left and a padding right with the same value, 20 pixels. Okay. Padding left, 20 pixels. Padding right, 20 pixels. Oh, that looks so much better. Okay. That looks better. Now try adding some 20 pixel padding to the top and bottom. I'm gonna do that, and then they're gonna be like, did you know that you could use shorthand to just do that all at once, you dumb bitch? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I know, but you told me to do it this way! I love cinnamon roll flavored things, but I would never order a cinnamon roll itself. Really? Why? The cinnamon rolls are good, but they're like 1,000 calories for one of them. So you gotta eat like, I gotta eat like 2 bites and then like come back later. Okay. Oh wait, I did right twice. This should be bottom. How could I forget the bottom? All right. Since all 4 sides of the menu have the same internal spacing, remove the 4 properties. And yeah, I knew that. I knew they were gonna do that to me. I knew they were gonna do that shit to me. Okay. There you go. The current width of the menu will always take up 80% of the body element's width. On a very wide screen, the coffee and dessert appear far apart from the prices. Add a max width property to the menu class with a value of 500 pixels to prevent it from growing too wide. What max width would you put on your PP? What would be too wide? Have you guys ever heard of the term cupcake dick? I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but somebody in college taught me the term cupcake dick. I think you can imagine what a cupcake dick is, right? I'm sorry, too much sweetness. Just a whole lot. And good ones are always gargantuan. Too much sweetness, but Rixie's so sweet and you still come to my stream. You don't know what a cupcake dick is? I think it's like the opposite of a pencil dick. So if a pencil dick is a long, thin dick, a cupcake dick is a short and girthy dick. It's like a short, fat dick. Oh my gosh, wait, I just remembered. I think the reason I know the term cupcake dick is because my friend was telling me that a guy that she slept with had a cupcake dick. And I was like, what is that? Sounds delicious. And she was like, it's like when I don't think she was like making fun of him, but she was just, you know, girls, they just like, you know, girls just gossip. So she was like, yeah, he had a cupcake dick. I was like, what the fuck is a cupcake dick? Where I am from, we call that a chode patty. Ew. I think cupcake dick is cuter. Anyways. Hi, Aetherius. Hi. Okay. You can change the font family of text to make it look different from the default font of your browser. Each browser has some common fonts available to it. Change all the text in your body by adding the font family property with the value sans serif. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult Chode Patty. Chode Patty's certainly an interesting way to say it. Thank you for the information, Aetherius. Cupcake dick is cuter than the shit we call the pussy. Yeah. I hate any, you know, I say cupcake dick, but I hate any comparisons of like the vagina to food grosses me out. Like even taco, like I don't know, like I'm not trying to put food down there. Anyways, so let's see, font family, sans serif. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. It's gross. Okay. Taco is objectively a gross euphemism. Yeah, because I'm just imagining like ground beef falling out of your vagina. Like that's that's disgusting. Anyways, it's a bit boring for all the text that have this same font family. You should still have the majority of the text sans serif and just make the the heading 1 and 2 elements use different selector. Style both the H1 and H2 elements using a single selector so that these element text use the impact font. Okay. Okay, font, family, wait, I can't see. Okay, here we go. Font, family, impact. Does it have to be capitalized like that? I don't know. The worst that sticks with me, bologna flour. Ew! That's so gross. Does this vagina come with salsa? Or is it full of lettuce? Both. Wait, no. It only comes with salsa once a month. 1 week out of the month. I just realized they're gonna change all of this into flex, aren't they? What's that? Wait, what do you mean? You can add a fallback value for font family by adding another font name separated by a comma. Fallbacks are used as in instances where the initial is not found. Use fallback font serif after the impact font. Okay. Flex box. Okay, I won't worry about it. Hi, Mango. Oh my gosh, you guys. Does clam count as a food analogy? I guess, but I feel like that, for some reason, I feel like that's not as bad. Because I feel like a clam is also just an animal. I don't know. I mean, I know ground beef, I know like roast beef is made out of an animal, but it's not like an animal itself. It's like made out of animal. But like clam is just like an animal. Kind of like pussy. Like pussy's a cat, you know? Also, you reminded me when you said Chucky. Did you guys see the video of a guy getting arrested, a Chuck E. Cheese employee in the Chuck E. Cheese mascot costume getting arrested in the costume? Did you guys see it? I thought it was AI. Like, I saw it, first I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, that's an AI video. I just skipped it. But then I saw it on Law and Crime on YouTube, and it was real. They actually did that shit. They actually arrested Chuck E. Cheese in front of all the kids, and the kids were, like, crying and screaming. Anyways, I literally thought it was AI. I was like, there's no way that would actually happen. No, it happened. Anyways. Italicize the okay, he wasn't in the mask when they took the mugshot, but he was in the mask when they put him in cuffs and walked him out of the establishment. Anyways, italicize the established 2020 by creating an established class selector and giving it a font style property of italic. Okay. And we have to obviously add that into the thing here. All right. Nice. She got that skill link makes icicle spear always hit 5 times pussy. Her pussy is using shell smash on my switch and to get 2x speed. I'm fucked. I gotta pin that one. Okay, alright. Chuck E. Cheese must now stay at least 20 feet away from children. I think they were arresting him for drugs. I think it was either drug, what was it? I think it was drug. I think they got him like in a sting. Where they had like they had an undercover officer like buy drugs from him or something. But like then they like they like made a scene and arrested him. Like they clearly like did that on purpose. Like they could have been like, you know, hey, we need to talk to you in like the employee room and arrested him there instead of arresting him in front of all the kids and making them cry. Anyways, just my onion, okay? As someone who's never been in law enforcement, I just feel like there could have been a better way. Listen, not that I care about kids, but like, it was to be fair, it was objectively hilarious. It was objectively hilarious watching them walk Chuck E. Cheese out of there. But it's not fun unless kids cry. I don't know, that's pretty crazy. Then again, again, they probably created a core memory for those kids that those kids can then talk about later, and that would be pretty funny. Anyways, how is that a crime? You have to be on drugs to get in that suit. I don't know. All right. The typography of the heading element is set by default values of the user's browser. Add two new type selectors, H1 and H2, using the font size property for both. Use the value 40 pixels for H1 and 30 for H2. All right. Font size 40 pixels, and then font size 30 for H2. Okay. Excuse me. Those kids would talk about it on stream. The trauma would turn them into VTubers. Am I an animatronic? No. Probably my great grandparents were probably animatronics. Do I have a spring trap? No, I don't think I have it. Hey, that would be a pretty good idea though if I did install a dick. If I installed a dick to have a spring trap dick. Yeah. I'll be like Pop Goes the Weasel type shit. Don't make you imagine that too late. By the way, did everybody see the art that Awen got commissioned for me? Of me in the mech suit thing. That shit's hot. If you if you wanted to see it. Anyways. Add a footer element below the main element where you can add some additional information. Okay. Am I gonna be in the next life Five Nights at Freddy's? I never actually even played Five Nights at Freddy's before. Inside the footer, add an address element. Okay. It's on my Twitter. I share. It should be like the second to last repost. Yeah. Yes, the skev. Yeah. Excuse me. Inside the address, add a P element. Then nest an anchor element inside the P element that links to free code camp. Okay. Get in the suit. Think about it. It looks really good. I like the design. Okay. Okay. So anchor element. All right. And then we'll tap this. Visit our website. Wait, why are you getting your coffee and your desserts from freecodecamp.org? That's kind of weird. Okay, make sure the link opens in a new tab by adding the target blank. Okay. Why is it italicized? Am I dumb? Why is it italicized? Why click it? I mean, nothing bad's gonna happen if I click it, but it's just gonna open a new tab and I'm gonna have to like... Oh, it's a it is? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know they were italicized. Alright. Add a second P element below the one with the link and give it the text 123 free code camp drive. All right. Okay. Oh, it's the address. No, it's the default for the address, I think. That's because this one's also italicized. All right, you can use the HR element to display a divider between sections of different content. First, add an HR element between the P element with the class established and the first section. Right. All right. You know, because HR's got to draw a line somewhere. All right. Note that the HR element is a void element. The default properties of HR element make it appear as a thin light gray line. You could change the height of the line by specifying a value for the height property. So change the height to 3 pixels. Okay. Change the background color of the HR element to brown so it matches the color of the coffee beans. It will not match the color of the coffee beans. It's going to be red. Oh, background color, background color. Oh, wait, brown. That's red to me, I think. This it looks nice. I know, doesn't it? I know. I was like, woo! When I saw it, I was very happy. All right. Notice the gray color along the edges of the line. These edges are known as borders. Each side of the element can have a different color, or they can be the same. Make all the edges of the HR element the same color as the background of it using the border color property. Border color brown. Okay. Coffee fruit is red. Okay, but we're not selling coffee fruit. We're selling brewed coffee. Okay. Notice how the thickness of the line looks bigger. Notice. Imagine that line in like a smut fic. Notice how the thickness of the line is bigger. Oh well, notices your bigger thick line thickness. Anyways, the default value of a property named border width is 1 pixel for all edges of the HR element. By changing the border to the same color as the background, the total height of the line is 5 pixels. All right, change the height property of the HR to 2 pixels, so it becomes 4 pixels. Okay. Go ahead and add another HR element between the main element and the footer element. I know, it's so thick, right? 4 pixels. That's above average. Okay. The main element and the footer element. To create a little more room around the menu, add a 20 pixels of space on the inside of the body element by adding a padding property. Okay. Okay. Focusing on the menu items and prices, there is a fairly large gap between each line. Using the existing selector that targets all the P elements nested within the class named item and set their top and bottom margins to 5 pixels. Okay. Using the same style selector as the previous step, make the font size of the items and prices larger by using a value of 18 pixels. Okay. Oh, wait. Yeah. Font size 18. Changing the margin bottom to 5 pixels looks great. However, now the space between cinnamon roll menu item and the second HR element does not match the space between the top HR element and the coffee heading. That is true. Add some more space by creating a class named bottom line using 25 pixels for the margin top property. Okay. Hi, Pax. Hi. Oh, what did I do wrong? Fuck. What did it say? You should have a bottom line. Oh, fuck. I forgot. Okay. Now add the bottom line class to the second HR. Okay. Next, you're going to be stylizing the footer element. To keep the CSS organized, add a comment at the end of the style CSS with a text footer. Right. Moving down to the footer element, make all the text have a value of 14 pixels for the font size. All right, so footer element, font size, 14 pixels. The default styling of the address element is to have a font style set to italic. Add a selector for the address element and select its font style to normal. Okay. Font style, normal. The default color of the link that has not yet been clicked on is typically blue. The default color of a link that has already been visited from a page is typically purple. To make the footer links the same color regardless if the link has been visited, use a type selector. For the anchor element, okay, a type selector for the anchor element. And use the value of black for the color property. You change the property of links when the link has been visited by using a pseudo selector that looks like a visited. Okay. Change the color of the footer visit our website link to gray when a user has visited the link. Okay, a visited. Color gray. Okay. I'm getting the hang of this. I understand everything happening in this lesson. We'll see if I understand it so good when they let me try to do my own. Oh. Sorry, not doing it today. Alright. You change the property of link when the mouse hovers over them by adding the pseudo selector that looks like a hover. Alright, we're gonna add to make it brown. Alright. Hover, color, brown. Okay, so now it should, yep, perfect. I feel like I learned when I was like trying to learn HTML and CSS and stuff for like Neopets, I learned that I just had free will and I could just make anything, any color, any size, any like style I wanted. Good times, man. All right. You change the properties of the link when the link has been clicked on. Is being clicked by using a pseudo selector that looks like this, a active. All right, we're gonna make it white when being clicked. All right. To maintain the existing black and brown color theme, change the color for when the link is visited to black and use brown when the link is actually clicked. Okay, you change your mind? Sure, fine. Okay, so when it's visited, it's going to be brown. And when it's... Oh, sorry. When it's visited, it's going to be black. And then when it's active, it's going to be brown. Right? Okay. The menu text camper cafe has a different space from the top than the address space at the bottom of the menu. This is due to the browser having some default margin for the H1 element. Change the top margin of the H1 element to 0 to remove all top margin. Okay. To remove some of the vertical space between H1 element and the estimated 2020, change the bottom margin of H1 to 15 pixels. Now the top spacing looks good. The space below the address at the bottom of the menu is a little bigger than the space at the top of the menu and the H1 element. To decrease the default margin between... This is just like trial and error shit, I swear. Anyways, to decrease the default margin space below the address P element, create a class selector named address. A class selector, okay. And then use the value 5 pixels for margin bottom. I didn't add an address class, yeah. Apply the address class to the P element. Contain the street address. Okay. Menu looks good. But other than the coffee beans background image, it's mainly just text. Under the coffee heading, add an image using the URL. And then it has a URL. Give the image an alt value of coffee icon. Okay. So under the coffee heading, add an image. Just take this, paste it in there. Ah, it's not centered. Image you add is not centered. Image elements are like inline elements. To make the image behave like a block level element, such as headings, create an image type selector. Set the display property to block. And use margin left and margin right to center it horizontally. Wait, why can't I just use center? Does that not work for that? Am I stupid? Wait, what? They want me to manually use margin left and margin right to center it? That's not gonna work. Alright, let me experiment with this. That's not working. Okay, let's do... No. Okay, let's do this. Let's just keep nudging it until it looks like it's in the center. Am I stupid? There's gotta be a better way to do this, right? Am I stupid? Guys, am I dumb? Does that look centered? I don't know. You should set... Oh, auto! Oh, I have to set it to auto! I'm fucking dumb! Oh, okay. I'm dumb. Alright, I learned my lesson. Oh, okay. I didn't know. I did my best. Okay, add one last image under the desserts header using the URL. Okay. Okay. Aw, thank you. I'm the most lovable dummy ever, right? Yippee! Hi, Vegas! Hi, how you doing? Alright. We're on step 89. This is a pretty long lesson. It would be nice if the vertical space between the H2 elements and their associated icons was smaller. The H2 elements have default top and bottom margin space, so you could change the bottom margin to say 0 and a number. There is an easier way. Simply add a negative top margin to the... a negative top margin to the image element to pull them up from their current position. Negative values are created using a minus sign in front of the value. To complete this workshop, go ahead and use a negative top margin of 25 pixels in the image type selector. Okay. And congratulations, Cafe Mini Workshop is complete! Thank you for the hydrates, Vegas. Thank you. Wow, you guys, we took all that time just to create this, huh? And so it should, like, kind of look good no matter how far we stretch it, right? Okay. Yippee! Alright, you guys. Next, design a business card. Let's design Rixie's business card. Okay, guys, this is a more freestyle one, I think, or maybe not. We'll see. No. Thank you for the burgers. Thank you. Yes. We're gonna make a business card for Rixie's maid service. Build an app that is functionally similar. Okay. Fulfill the user stories. You should have a div with a class attribute with a value of business card that will contain all the other elements, including the body or inside the body. I think it's inside the body. It says contain all the other elements, but it's obviously not going to contain all of them. All right. So we'll do div with a class of business card. Okay. Inside the business card element, there should be an image element with a... Okay, inside the business card element, there should be an image element with a class attribute with a value of profile image. Okay, so inside the div. Okay. Profile image. You can set the image source to blank if you'd like. No, I'd like to set it to an image of me. Do I have a picture of me in the maid outfit? I probably do. Here, let me search Rixie maid. Really? I don't have a picture. I do have this. Wait. Let's see if this works. Oh. Let's see if I take this off. Darn it. You can't use Twitter images. Let's see if I can take it off of Google. Yeah. Ooh. Google didn't index this beautiful image. That's so sad. Alright, then I'll just do cute maid from Google. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be me. Oh, wait. What's this? Okay, yeah, we're gonna use this one, alright? Okay. There you go. Okay. So we got the image. There should be an alt with a meaningful description. Alt. A man in a cat maid costume. Dusting a surface with a Swiffer. Wait, what is that called? What are those things called? Are they called Swiffers? Okay, I'll just say dusting a surface. A man in a cat maid costume dusting a surface and smiling at the camera. Alt, your bro pays you back at favoritos. Yeah, this is the Umberto leak. And now you know that I'm really a male maid named Umberto. Oh. Alright, anyways. Alright, so that's the alt text. Inside the business card element, after the image element, you should have 3 P elements. Okay. With the class attribute that respectively full name, designation, and company. Alright. We love Umberto. Yeah. Alright, so this is gonna be class, full name, class, designation, class, company. Alright. The first element should contain your name. Umberto Rifle. The second one should contain your designation. Head head maid. And the third element should have your company name. Umberto Rifle head maid at Rixie's. I'll just put Rixie's maid service. Alright. There should be an HR element below the third P element. Okay. Yeah, we need HR. We need more HR at Rixie's maid service. Okay. After the HR element, there should be 2 P elements. Okay. Okay. In the first P element, you should have an email address as the text. Okay. I'll just put like Umberto or Brightful at rixiemaid.org. Okay. In the second, it should be a phone number. 555 670 6769. All right. After the 2 P elements, there should be an A element with the class of portfolio link. Okay. Portfolio link. Okay. The text portfolio. And a link to a valid URL. I'll just put google.com since I don't know where we're gonna get this. Oh wait, is the Nexus website still exist? Let's do the Nexus website. I don't think it still exists. I think it's Nexus Studio now, isn't it? Okay, yeah, Nexus Live doesn't exist. Oh wait, Nexus Studio doesn't exist either. So wait, Nexus Live exists, but it's like a blank website. Or it's like a dummy website that just has like random shit on it. Or I don't know if this is a malicious site or not. I mean it has like links. I don't know if the links might be malicious. I don't know. It's like a weird. I mean, it has like weird stock stuff on it. I don't know. Actually, I have to run to the bathroom. wait, I'll be back. But we'll use Nexus's website as the link. I'll be right back though. Let's see. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so we'll do Nexus Studio since it doesn't exist. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alright. Okay, so there should be an HR element after the A element. Okay. You should have another div element with a class attribute set to social media. Is that... Yeah, that's... Wait. Can you have a div within a div? You can have a div within a div. So do they want this div to be inside this div? Or... Wait a second. You should have another div element with the class... With the class attribute with a value of social media. I guess it should be outside. Wait, let me read this. Okay, never mind. It says you should have a div with a class attribute of business card that will contain all other elements. So the div is supposed to be inside the div. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put it inside. Class social media. Okay. Within this element, there should be an H2 element. With the text connect with me. Okay. Inside the social media element, there should be 3 A elements. Okay. Okay. The A element should have the text Twitter, LinkedIn, and GitHub. Yeah, why does Rixie's maid service have a GitHub? Oh, it's for software to clean your computer. That's what it is. Yeah. All right, Twitter, LinkedIn, GitHub. It's funny. My paternal unit even refuses to call Twitter X. He was like, I don't want to tell people that I'm on X because it sounds like a dirty site. Anyways. Alright, you should link the style sheet. I didn't put a source for the Twitter, LinkedIn, and GitHub. I'm just gonna make the source for all 3 of them my Twitter. Wait, what's my Twitter? What's the format for Twitter? Is it like Twitter dot, or no, X dot? Let me check. I know what it is for Twitch. Yeah, x.com/RixieBrightful. Alright, so I'll just make all of them my Twitter. For the sake of simplicity. Okay. Alright, you should link the style sheet using the link tag in the head. Okay. Sorry, this image link is like really big. God. Okay. Oh God. Wait. I forgot how to do this. No, rel. Style sheet. Source. Styles.css. That should be, I think that's right. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's right. Okay. Your page background should be rosy brown. Well, we'll know if it's right if this works. Alright? So... let's see. Let's take a look here. So, we want to make... business card... background color rosy brown. That did not work. Okay, did I not link the style sheet correctly? Oh, okay, so it is ref, not source. Okay. Ugh. I don't know if I like that color. That, you know, that kind of reminds me of like some people's nipple color. Some people's nipples and dicks be this color. Like, is this guy's tip color? Rate this tip color. Who's tip out here? Rosy brown. Okay. The overall font should be Arial with a fallback of sans serif. Okay. All right, let me take this off because this is okay. Am I doing this right? Here, let me just make sure I'm doing this right. I'm not doing this right. Wait, not font style. Sorry, it's not font style. It's font class. Right? No. Font family, font family. It's font family. Okay, there we go. It took me a sec. Rixie's tip is rosy brown. No, that's not what I said. Okay. Okay, business card, background color, rosy brown. Font family, Arial with sans serif, fallback. The business card selector should have properties to set the element as 300 pixels wide and a back. Wait! My page background should be rose. Okay, wait, what did I do? Oh, I want the body to be rosy brown? Maybe? Like that? I guess like that. Hi, Souffle! Hi! Alright, I guess that's what it wants from me. And then the business card selector should have properties set the width. 300 pixels. And then the background color of my choice. Background color, what about pink? Okay, that looks kind of dumb. Okay, now we're really combining some penile colors and some okay, wait, no. What about white? Okay, I think white is gonna look the best. Okay, yeah. Okay, where am I? Okay, background color choice. Also, you should set a padding of 20 pixels all around. Okay. And a margin, a top margin of 100 pixels. Okay. The text should be center aligned. Wait. Text style, right? No. Text. Oh, God. Text align. Okay, there we go. Okay, center align. The font size should be 16 pixels. I come bringing shocking news. What happened? Oh my goodness! Oh, I'm in uniform! Hi, Armac! Yes! Okay, so the left and right margin should be set to auto. Oh, I'm sorry. Margin left. Auto. Margin right, auto. Okay. All of the P elements should have a top and bottom margin of 5. Okay. Margin top 5. All links on the page should not be underlined. How do I do that? How do I un-underline? How do I un-underline something? Wait, how do you un-underline something? I don't know how to do that. They didn't teach me that. They straight up did not teach me that. I'm gonna Google it. I'm just gonna Google how to make links not underlined in CSS. Oh, text decoration property none. Okay. They didn't teach me that. They did not teach me that. Text decoration none. Okay, there we go. That should be correct, you guys. There's my beautiful business card. Umberto's beautiful business card. Uh-oh. Did I get something wrong? Or is it just not running? Wait. Am I dumb? Oh, okay, here we go. It ran. Okay, I got something wrong. Alright, what did I get wrong? You should set the page font to Arial in the body element. Is it because I didn't capitalize Arial? Fuck you. It's because I didn't capitalize Arial, even though it still worked. Okay, let me see if that clears that one. I want to see if it really was just the capitalization. It really was just the capitalization. That's crazy. It still worked, even without that. Okay, fuck you. Your profile image selector should have a max width property of 100%. When did they say that? Maybe they did. Oh, they did say that. Profile image selector should. Okay, I didn't see that part. It's fine. Oh wait, I have to put the headband on for engineer properly. Okay, 1 second. Got a little helper, Dr. Fish. There we go. Very lovely. Engineer is gonna be a head maid at Richie's maid service in no time. Oh, I forgot to do this. Okay. Profile image. Max width 100%. Okay. Yay! This is me when maid's key. Uh-oh, I'm afraid to click this. Aw, cute. That's cute. Okay. I hope your head's okay. She's the Uma Gooner. Okay. You guys, did I make a business card? Okay, we still have an hour left. I think I have time for at least one more thing, right? What do we have now? What's next? Oh, we got theory. Oh, we got more reading. More reading. It's okay. We can do it. Alright. What is CSS specificity and the specificity for inline, internal, and external CSS? CSS specificity is a fundamental concept that determines which styles are applied to an element when multiple rules could apply. Understanding specificity helps developers resolve conflicts between different CSS rules and ensures the desired styles are consistently applied. CSS specificity is calculated based on the type of selectors used. The highest specificity is attributed to inline styles, which are applied directly to an element through the style attribute. She says, I like running late and at the end of the horse pack so I can better see my Oshi's asses. Oh my goodness. Well, if I ever did play Uma Musume, which I don't think I ever will, but if I ever did, she sounds like a girl after my own heart. Alright. Alright, in this example, the first paragraph will be red, while the other P elements will be blue. This is because inline styles have a higher specificity than type selectors like the P selector. Okay, so the inline ones will take precedent, basically, right? Alright, following this, ID selectors have a high level of specificity. Okay. Next, class selectors, attribute selectors, and pseudo-classes come into play. Examples include class selectors such as container button, attribute selectors like type equals text, and pseudo-classes such as hover. These have a moderate level of specificity. Alright, in this example, the first paragraph will be red because an ID selector has a higher specificity than classes and type selectors. The example pair element will have a color of green, while the remaining paragraph elements will have a color of blue. Okay, I see. Type selectors such as div and h1 and pseudo elements like before and after have a lower specificity compared to previous groups. Okay. Finally, the universal selector, represented as an asterisk, has the lowest specificity of all. Here's an example of setting the color for all elements to red using the asterisk selector. You won't see any red elements though, because there are ID and type selectors that override these styles, which highlights the low specificity of the asterisk selector. Specificity values are calculated as a four-part value, A, B, C, D. A, inline styles, 1 or 0. B, number of ID selectors. C, number of class selectors, attribute selectors, and pseudo-classes. Hi, Sunny! You relapsed into Valorant. At least you didn't prolapse into Valorant. Aww. Well, I mean, I hope you at least have fun doing that, but if you don't have fun doing it, don't do it. But I hope you're doing good. Alright, each part of the specificity value carries different weights. Inline styles, A, have the highest weight, contributing to a value of 1 to the first part of the specificity value. ID selectors, B, carry the next highest weight, with each ID contributing 1 to the second part of the specificity value. Class selectors, attribute selectors, and pseudo-classes carry moderate weight, with each contributing 1 to the third part of the specificity value. Type selectors and pseudo-elements, D, have the lowest weight, each contributing 1 to the fourth part of the specificity value. Universal selectors, the universal selectors contribute 0 to the specificity calculation. It does not affect specificity. Its inclusion in a selector does not change the specificity value. Inline CSS has the highest specificity because it is applied directly to the element. It overrides any internal and external CSS. The specificity value for inline styles is 1000. Here's another example of an inline style. Okay. Internal CSS is defined within a style element in the head section of HTML document. It has lower specificity than inline styles, but can override external styles. The specificity value for internal styles is determined by the selectors used. For example, an ID selector with an internal CSS has a specificity value of 0100. In this example, the text will be blue unless an inline style or a more specific external style is applied. External CSS is linked via a link element in the head section and is written to a separate CSS file. It has the lowest specificity but provides the best maintainability for large projects. Yeah, I agree. Better than League of Legends, I think. The specificity value for external styles is also determined by selectors. For example, a class selector with an external CSS has a specificity value of 0010. In this example, this text color is defined in the style CSS file and will be applied unless overridden. I don't fully understand the whole numbers thing, but I do understand the concept of the specificity. Alright, which CSS specificity is higher? An inline style. In the hierarchy of CSS specificity, which has the lowest priority? Universal selector. What color will the text be in the following example? Alright, so we got the style color red. Well, it's gonna be red. Wait, this is also inline. Wait, I'm confused. Wait. Oh, internal. Wait, there's inline, internal. Wait. There's inline, internal, and external. I forgot. Oh, fuck. I mixed up inline and internal. Fuck. Let me go back. I messed up. Okay. All right, okay. Inline is more important. Okay. Sorry. I'm dumb. All right, blue. It'll be blue. Yay! All right, what is the universal selector and what is its specificity? The universal selector asterisk is a special type of CSS selector that matches any element in the document. It is often used to apply style to all elements on the page, which can be useful for setting or normalizing styles across different browsers. The universal selector can also be used to select all elements within a specific context or globally across the entire document. Here's an example of using the universal selector for setting the margin and padding for the entire HTML document. Okay. In this code example, the universal selector resets the margin and padding of all elements to 0, which is a common technique used in CSS resets. The universal selector has the lowest specificity value of any selector. It contributes 0 to all parts of the specificity value. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Man, I relate to the universal selector. It contributes nothing! But it affects everything. Okay, wait. I don't affect anything either. Anyways. Except the French engineers. Yay! Alright, this means that any other selector, including type selectors, class selectors, ID selectors, and inline styles, will override the styles set by the universal selector. Let's take a look at the following HTML and CSS example. Okay. The universal selector sets the text color to blue for all elements. However, the p-type selector overrides it by setting the color text to red, specifically for p elements. If an element has a highlight class, the class selector takes precedence, changing the text color to green. Finally, the unique ID selector, which has the highest specificity, will override all others, setting the text color to purple. Alright, the specificity is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Alright, what is a common use case? It is to normalize styles across all elements. Given the following CSS, what will be the color of the text? Alright, so we got the internal CSS. Okay, we've got this one, we got the class, and then we got the ID. Alright, so this is the ID, so it will be purple. Yippee! Alright, what is the specificity for type selectors? We just learned all this. They already taught us all this in the first part of the lesson. Type selectors, also known as element selectors, target elements based on our tag name. These selectors are fundamental in CSS, allow you to place styles to all instances of a specific HTML element. Type selectors are straightforward to use and are written simply as a tag name. Alright, you know this already. In the example, all P elements have the same text color. Alright, they're low specificity compared to other selectors. Their specificity is 0, 0, 0, 1. Type selectors will be overridden by class selectors, ID selectors, and inline styles. Hi, Bubba! Hello. How you doing? Thank you for the hydrate. We are learning about CSS specificity. Riveting stuff. Alright, this is basically which CSS elements top and bottom the other CSS elements, I guess. Alright, let's take a look at an example where the class selectors will override the styles of the type selectors. Alright, both of these paragraph elements have a class. Inside the CSS file, the type selector targets paragraphs, and the class selector targets elements with a para class. All paragraphs on the page with the class of para will have the text set to red instead of blue. Alright. The specificity of the type selector is 0001. Which of the following has a lower specificity? The universal selector. And given the CSS, what color will be the text? The color of the text will be red. Next one. What is the specificity of class selectors? Let's just zoom through these. This is too easy. Class selectors are keyboard of CSS. Blah, blah, blah. Defined by period. Alright, the specificity is 0010. I'm just trying to skip over the stuff that we already learned. Okay, so it's lower than ID selectors and inline. Class selectors can be combined with other selectors to create more specific rules. Okay, so specificity 0010. Which one has a higher specificity? ID selector. And in this case, the color of the text will be... Wait a second. Class... Wait. P dot highlight. Wait. Okay, now you got me. Now I'm not sure. Wait, let me go back. P class bold text. P bold text, bold. I guess that's paragraphs with the class. I think it probably would be red, I think. Because this is more specific than this. So I'll go with red. Okay, I got it right. All right. What is the specificity for ID selectors? ID selectors are among the most powerful selectors, allowing you to apply style-specific elements. Defined by the hash symbol. They have a specificity of 0100. Okay. So what is the specificity value of an ID selector? 0100. Which of the following has a higher specificity? The inline style. And based on this, the color of the text will be purple. Yay! Alright, what is the... Okay, now we're on to something new. What is the important keyword? And what are the best practices for using it? The exclamation point important keyword in CSS is used to give a style rule the highest priority, allowing it to override any other declarations for a property. When used, it forces the browser to apply a specified style regardless of the specificity of other selectors. Let's say you have an HTML paragraph element with inline styles like this. Okay. In this example, the paragraph element has a background color set to light blue and a text color set to black. The CSS file applies the following styles to the paragraph element. Okay. Since, wait, I didn't even look at the CSS. Okay, background color black. Okay, wait. I see. Since inline styles have a higher precedence than class ID and type selectors, the black background color and white text color will not be applied to the paragraph element. To override these inline styles, you can use the important keyword. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, okay, so you put it right after the color. Or like whatever you're trying to like change. Got it. The important keyword is used after the CSS value and before the semicolon. Now the paragraph element will have those black and white colors applied because inline styles are being overridden with the use of the important keyword. But what's the specificity value of it? Is it like 1111? Hi, Millimeter. Hi. Have I mastered CSS yet? I wouldn't say mastered. I did make a coffee menu and a business card for my maid service using CSS, but I still have like 9/10 of the CSS lesson left, so I wouldn't say I've mastered it, no. I hope you're doing good, though. Right now we're learning about specificity and which like style elements override other style elements and stuff. Kind of boring, but kind of important. Alright, so the important, okay, I read this already. The important keyword does not change the specificity of the CSS selector itself. It simply ensures the rule with important is applied, even if there are other conflicting rules. Another appropriate use case for important keyword is to override styles from third-party libraries or frameworks when you do not have control over the original CSS. However, using the important keyword can lead to difficulties in maintaining and debugging your CSS as it breaks the natural cascading of styles and can lead to unintended consequences. So it is best to use the important keyword sparingly. Alright, what does the important keyword do in CSS? It increases the specificity. Wait, it applies the style regardless of the other rules specific. I think this is the right one. Yeah. Alright, when should you use the important keyword? To override third-party styles or as a temporary fix. To increase specificity. I'll go with override third-party styles. Alright, given the following CSS, what will be the color of the text? Green. It'll be green. Okay. Yippee! How does the cascade algorithm work at a high level? The cascade algorithm is the process the browser uses to decide which CSS rules to apply when there are multiple styles targeting the same element. It ensures that the most appropriate styles are used based on a set of well-defined rules. So this decides which bukkake impregnates the element, I think. The process begins with relevance. The browser first filters all the CSS rules to find those that actually apply to the element in question. This includes matching selectors and considering media queries that might be in effect. A media query is a CSS technique used to apply styles based on the characteristics of the device or viewport, such as the width, height, or orientation. Next, the algorithm considers origin and importance. Wait. Let me read this again. Process begins with relevance. Filters all CSS rules to find those that actually apply to the element in question. The media query, okay, then it considers media queries. Characteristics of the device or viewport, such as width, height, and orientation. Next, the algorithm considers origin and importance. CSS can come from different sources. The browser's default styles, user agent styles, set by the user and styles written by you. Following the consideration of origin, the algorithm then evaluates the importance of each rule, given priority to the rules marked with important. Okay, so then there's things that can even override important. Okay, I think I understand. After filtering by origin, but like in terms of things you have control over, though, or important, I think is the highest level. After filtering by origin and importance, the algorithm looks at specificity. When two rules from the same origin and importance level apply, the rule with the higher specificity will be applied. Specificity is a measure of how the targeted a selector is. They just told us, they said this already in the last lesson. If everything else is equal, the order of appearance comes into play. Okay. When two rules have the same specificity, the one that appears last in the CSS will be applied. This is why the order in which you write your styles can sometimes affect the outcome. Let's take a look at an example. In the HTML file, there's a single paragraph element. Then, inside the CSS, we have two rules, each targeting the same paragraph element. Oh, okay, I see. The first rule sets all paragraph elements to text color blue, and the second one sets them all to green. So the color that is applied is green because it is after the blue one. Okay. By considering relevance, origin, and importance, specificity, scope, and order of appearance, the cascade algorithm ensures your CSS behaves predictably. What is the first step of the cascade algorithm? It filters rules by relevance, I think. Alright, what will happen if you try to apply a conflicting set of styles to two paragraph rules? The program will crash. The last styles will be applied. Which of the following factors does not influence the cascade algorithm's decision? The color property? Yeah, color property. Okay. Yay! And how does inheritance work with CSS at a high level? Inheritance is a key concept in CSS that determines how styles are passed down from parent elements to their child elements. Just like in the real world, where children often inherit traits from their parents, in CSS, certain properties can be inherited by child elements from their parent elements. This allows for a more efficient way to apply consistent styling across an entire document. In CSS, not all properties are inherited by default. For example, properties like color, font family, and line height are inherited. This means that if you set the text color on a parent element, all the child elements will inherit the color unless you specifically override it. For instance, consider the following example where a parent div element has its color set using an inline style, and the child p element inherits the color. Okay, that makes sense. In this case, both the parent div and the child p will display the text in blue because the color is inherited. On the other hand, properties like margin, padding, border, and background are not inherited by default. If you want a child element to inherit these styles, you need to explicitly set them either directly on the child element or by using the inherit keyword. The inherit keyword can be used to force inheritance of a property from a parent element, even if that property is not normally inherited. For example, if you want a specific child element to have the same padding as its parent, you can set padding inherit on the child element. Okay. Oh, style padding inherit. P style padding inherit. Okay. I see. In this case, the child p element will inherit the 20 pixel padding from its parent div element. Inheritance is especially useful for maintaining consistency and reducing redundancy in your style sheets. Instead of writing the same style rule for multiple elements, you can define it once on a parent element, and the child element will inherit it. This can make your CSS more concise. Alright, it's important to remember that inheritance only works in one direction, from parent to child. If you override a style on a child element, it won't affect the parent element. Alright, which of the following CSS properties is typically inherited by default? Color. Alright, what keyword can be used to force a child element to inherit a property? Inherit. Given the following CSS, what will be the color of the span text inside the P? Alright, so we got a span, a paragraph, the body, okay? The paragraph color is blue, so it's going to be blue. Yippee! I have 10 minutes left. What can I do with 10 minutes? What's the next lesson? Let's see. Let's see if we can complete whatever the next thing is in 10 minutes. I feel like I learned a lot today, though. I mean, a lot of it was stuff I kind of already knew, but it was like a very, very good refresher. I mean, I'm more used to, in terms of CSS, I'm more used to like editing other people's CSS templates versus like writing my own. So, oh, CSS fundamentals review and then CSS fundamentals quiz. All right, guys, we're on to the review and the quiz. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. All right, this is a perfect way to wrap this up. All right, so we got the review. What is CSS? Basic anatomy. the selector and the property. All right, selector, property, selector, property. I want to remember that. All right, the meta element. Okay, this gives a browser instruction on how to control the page's dimensions. Default browser styles. Okay, inline, internal, and external CSS. I understand the difference between those. Okay. The style tags go in the head section. We link the external one using the link element. All right, then we did all the width, height, min height, max height, which overrides whatever is in the width and height ones. Okay. The descendant combinator. This one I think is a space. It's a space, but if you have a dot, then there's no space. They didn't tell me that explicitly, but I figured that out in one of the previous lessons. All right, child combinator. Okay, so we got the descendant combinator. It targets elements that are descendants of a specific parent. The child combinator is used to select elements that are direct children of a specified parent element. Okay. And then next sibling combinator. I'm thinking. I think I understand this. Wait, let me go back here. Child combinator. Container P. Container P. Okay, yes. Okay, I understand. Okay. Next sibling combinator. The combinator selects an element that immediately follows a specified sibling element. Alright, subsequent sibling element. All subsequent siblings. Okay, all siblings that come after it. Okay. And that's a tilde. So we got the tilde, the plus, the greater than sign. Okay, I understand. This is just a review before the quiz. Inline block and inline block level elements. I learned those. Margin padding, I understand. I think I remember the order. I'll figure it out. And then specificity we just went over. Okay. Alright guys, it's quiz time. It's quiz time. I'm nervous. Time for my CSS fundamentals quiz. Alright, let's go. Alright, I have to get 18 out of 20 questions right. Oh, Rixie, do you remember that chimpanzee anime? It's crazy. It just ended. It's school something arc and started... I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? No, I don't remember any of this. What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I'm not gonna... I don't know what that is, Caesar. That's a little bizarre. Anyways, alright, let's go. So what does CSS stand for? Cutie, sexy, synthetic, Rixie. Anyways, cascading style sheets, I think. Cascading style sheets. Yeah. Alright, what is this? Oh yeah, that ugly fucking thing. Yeah, no, I do remember now that you mention it. Okay, I'm sorry, why is Obama involved? That feels racially motivated. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to respond to that. School shooter? Okay, we have a lot of problems. Listen, I'm not equipped to handle these problems right now. I'm learning about CSS, okay? Alright. And the SS in CSS does not stand for school shooter, okay? It definitely doesn't stand for chimpanzee school shooter. Okay. Which of the following is a correct CSS rule? Obama versus Michelle Obama? Why would you pit them against each other? They're happily married. Anyways, as far as I know, I don't know, who knows? I don't know if any politician is really happily married, but... Alright, which of the following is a correct CSS rule? So we got... P color red. Okay, it's this one. Alright. Yeah. Alright, what does meta name equals viewport do? Controls the shape and size of web page on different screen sizes. Specifies the metadata used by search engines. It links external style sheets or specifies character coding. I think it's this one. Shape and size of web page. Alright. Which syntax is correct to use inline CSS? P style equals this one right here. This inline one. Okay. When using internal CSS, where is the style element placed within the HTML? It is placed in the head element. Which rule is correct for setting the width and height in CSS? It should be this one. Width 50, height 50. All right. Which selector correctly targets H1 elements only when inside a div? It would be div. Only when inside a div. Yes, it would be this one. Div space H1. Which selector is correct to target direct children of a footer? So it'd be footer, direct children. So it would be footer and then this sign and then UL. Okay. Which selector is correct to target the next sibling of an image? Image plus. Which selector is correct to target all siblings preceded by an image element? Image tilde caption. All right. Which statement is true about block level elements? Block level elements start on a new line and take up the full width of the container. Width and height properties usually do not apply to block level elements unless you set their display to inline block. Wait, which one is true? Block level elements cannot contain inline elements inside them. Block level elements stack horizontally by default. Wait! Block level elements. Block level elements start on a new line and take up the full width of the container. Width and height properties usually do not apply to block level elements unless you set their display property to inline block. Block level elements cannot contain inline elements inside them. I think that's false. Block level elements stack horizontally by default. That's also false. Block level elements start on a new line and take up the full width of their container. What? Width and height properties usually do not apply to block level elements unless... I think it's this one. Let me think. I think it's this one. I think the height property does. I think the height property can apply to a block. I think. I'll go with this one. Block level. Okay. What statement is true when using the inline block value? Elements align horizontally but cannot apply vertical padding or margins. I don't think that's true. Elements stack vertically, always taking up the full width. No. Elements respect width and height settings but cannot contain other elements inside them. I don't think that's true either. Elements retain inline flow, but allow setting white. Okay, that one's true. Given the following selectors, which has the highest specificity? Oh my gosh, this subject. I don't know what she's up to. It's the one with the hashtag in front of it, because that is ID. All right. Given the following selectors, which has the lowest specificity? It'd be H1. What does the universal selector do? It targets all elements on the page. What does the important do in CSS? It overrides any other values applied to the property for that selector. Make sure the CSS rule works exclusively for inline styles and ignores styles defined by external. No. It disables all other CSS properties applied to the same element, effectively making it the only rule that affects the element styling. I think it's... Wait. It overrides any other values applied to the property for that selector. Overrides any other values. Okay. It disables all other CSS properties applied to the same element, making it the only rule that affects the element style. No, it's this one. It's this one. Overrides any other values. I think it's this one. The wording's kind of strange, but I think it's this one. This one implies that no other styling can happen. I think this one just overrides the existing styling. Okay. How does the CSS cascade algorithm work? It determines style of elements based on specificity and order of declaration. It determines styles of the element based on order of declaration, regardless of other factors. It applies styles based solely on the order they're written. It applies styles prioritizing specificity, ignoring origin or relevance. Okay, so it's this one. It's gotta be this one. Okay. Alright, which rule applies 32 pixels of margin to all sides? Margin 32, this one. Which rule applies 24 pixel padding to the top and bottom? I think it's this one. 24 px and then 0. What have you missed? I'm taking my final CSS quiz. I'm taking my final CSS quiz. I have one more question. We're gonna see if I pass. All right, for padding, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, 30 pixels, 40 pixels. What is the correct order of values? Top, right, bottom, left. Top, right, bottom, left is clockwise. All right, let's see if I passed. Yay! I got 20 out of 20 right! Yippee! I did it, you guys! I passed my basic CSS! Thank you for the burgers! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Thank you, Dorothy! And I finished my second can of soda. Thank you, thank you! Alright, you guys. I'm gonna wrap up for today. We did a lot of, oh, sorry, not basic I didn't finish basic CSS. I finished CSS fundamentals. We still have some basic CSS to do here. Alright, but it looks like next time we're gonna be looking at styling lists and links and working with backgrounds and borders. And then, as you can see, there are tons of other, I see Flexbox here. I see tons of other, things to work on. Animations, oh my goodness. Alright. Wait, when do we learn JavaScript? Oh, here, afterward. Okay. Good night, P Element Girl. Thank you for calling me by my proper name. Okay, let's go find someone to raid. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time is when I'm going to be having my Peak collab with Rihanna. It's gonna be super fun. I think it's Rihanna's first time playing Peak. So, does that mean I have to carry her? Not that I would like to carry her, like, on my back or my shoulders, but in terms of carrying her in the game, we'll have to see if I can do that. Alright, let's find someone to raid. Let's see. Lots and lots of people streaming today. Wow. Okay, let's see. Alright, we've got an ad here, but once the ad is done, I will raid Astrid Anarchy. Astrid Anarchy is playing Heartopia. And oh my gosh, her little Heartopia avatar looks so cute. And it looks just like her. Okay. Collab will be Peak? Yeah, I think it will be Peak. It'll be really fun. Alright, guys, I'll get the raid started. Alright, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Caesar. Thank you, Donald Day. Thank you, Toaster. Thank you, Twitter Ponies. Thank you, Blue. Thank you. I said Toaster already, right? Thank you, Caesar. Thank you, Twitter Ponies. Thank you, Lurkers. Thank you, Mamadoro. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, everybody. Big kisses. Bye-bye.